Welcome back everybody to another Poly Bridge 2 video. Today I am finishing off World 6 with level 616, Rube Gold Bridge. So, how does this work? We have these camper vans which need to get to their flags, which are under these blocks, which I guess get pulled up when these balls roll onto them. And that starts us off. And then we have other things happen. So we need C to hit its checkpoint and go up. Let's start out by building a bridge for C. I just want something like this, where this middle bit is going to detach and then get pulled upwards. So let's see if this works. Do we pull up the required amount? So we hit there and we go up. And we sort of wobble a bit. But I mean, we do make it up, so there's that. You know what, I'm going to call that a success for the moment. We then need some way of getting I1 and G1 across, and then also getting one of these balls down into our A compartment, which is going to be somewhat tricky. I'm going to save this design. I'm going to delete this for the moment and just work on getting all 4 of the balls to where they need to go. So that means having one of them hit each of the 4 van contraptions. In order to do that, I need to somehow split them off with enough speed that they will go the way that I want them to. I mean, one simple solution would just be to have them just sort of hit this sort of a design and then roll off. Does sort of help to separate them, but it just breaks straight away is the first issue. So can we get them to roll off with some considerable speed while also having them separate out? This then snaps as well, which is not great. What if we turn it into, say, cable? Which is really springy then. So at the moment we're just trying to get it to fall off with some sort of speed, which seems to happen now. So we have our first one hit a 4, and then a 2, and then a 3, and then one that comes over this way that will hopefully hit a 1. We need to create then some sort of contraption that will allow one of the balls to roll over the pocket for a 4 and into the hole for a 1. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go straight up. And then I'm just going to use a 90-degree rotator, which I know how to build so well. It's going to go out like this, and then be pulled this way. And that's going to attach to this. So then on A4 being hit, we'll have this contraption go, which will cause us to bridge this gap, thus allowing our ball to roll down into its hole. So if we watch this, this should roll over, and then this should come down and connect, then this should just roll over nicely, but now it falls too far. So if we're going to do that, we also need to stop it from rolling in some way. Because at the moment it rolls off and falls down, which is not good. So what I'm going to try at the moment is just a road like this that comes down, and at the moment sort of intersects weirdly with this, but that will hopefully just sort of shunt the ball in the right direction. Instead of having it be deflected at the top, have it be deflected at the bottom. Maybe that'll help. And it does. Perfect. This design does work though, which means I can copy and flip this top bit. So we should hopefully get 3 of our 4 balls in the right place, and our 4th ball at least down the bottom here, which I can then try and make work. Except this did not go on A2 like it's meant to. Oh, because it only goes after C hits its checkpoint. Let's see if we need to have C hit its checkpoint first. And see if this now works the way that it is meant to. So our ball hits its hole. That goes, and yes, then this falls down. So what we then need is some way of getting C up and the ball down at the same time. And the way I think I want that to work is going to just be with another ball like this. And the idea of this is to rotate it down and around so that it can then fall in to its gap down below. The issue with that is that that's going to be difficult to do while having a bridge that connects down here. But I think that bridge should be fairly easy. What I was thinking is just have this come up to a middle point, obviously at a bit of a shallower angle, like that. You then fill in with roads that would then rotate, because I've done something like that before and that works well. The only problem with that is that it requires these 2 points to be the exact same distance away from this middle point, which if we have a look, doesn't actually happen. Let's see if we can actually find a middle point that works nicely, but that's maybe too steep to drive on. So let's actually test this out. Is this a road that is able to be driven up by this lorry, I think is the word I'm looking for? Because if it is, then that sort of a design should work, and we should have plenty of budget to make it work. But it's just seeing if it gets to the end, and it appears to. If we then draw something out like so, does this then work? And of course you're going to have issues with this now being cut off by the large boat that comes through. But it does actually make it up nicely, which is a positive. So this sort of a design will work down here, which means we then just need to figure out how I'm going to get the ball down into its cubby, which is going to be tricky. But for the moment, what I want to figure out, how do I get this to work? Just does not like those inclines. This one does not like the inclines. What if we also connect up here? So we then have just some extra points of contact between the bridge and the surroundings. So yeah, that then keeps stable. But if we have a look at this truck, when it hits this slope, no, it does make it up now. Does it make it up? It does. Awesome. So that means that we have completed most of this level. We just need to get one of our balls down to A1, as well as having our C car go up. So, first things first, we want to continue this down so that our ball will roll off here nicely. And hopefully now we have that ball come down nicely. So it comes off and it comes down nicely. It currently hits this truck, but that's okay. So we get that ball down nicely. We now just need to get it into A1, which is going to be difficult, but not impossible. So what I'm then imagining for that is actually having this just always stay connected on this right side, and having something like this, an extra structure up top that this car is going to drive, this lorry is going to drive underneath and complete our bridge as usual, but then our G1 car is going to drive up, allowing us to effectively have the ball fall down here and come down without hitting that truck. So those 2 points should now connect nicely, and allow this car, green car, whatever it is, to make it to its flag nice and easily, while also allowing this ball to come down and come underneath. So it comes up and it hits its flag. Perfect. What we then need is to be able to lift this up and that should be the only change we need to make to this design. And then we'll have $13,000 to create some sort of way for our ball to fall down. Because at the moment it comes down, but it sort of bounces here. So what if we just say have this disconnect? So now, once this comes down here, those two roads should just fall out like so, and allow our ball to fall in nicely there. The only problem at the moment is that they catch. So in order to have that not happen, we'll have them all just fall away entirely. And hopefully they'll just fall out of the world. If they end up hitting here, it won't be great, but it'll definitely be fixable, I guess. But yeah, it just falls out of the world. Hopefully this then has a proper gap to hit, and it does, and we have beaten the level under budget and unbreaking. Let's go. We get the achievement for completing the entire game. Under budget and unbreaking, we did it! World 6, Steam Town, completely under budget and unbreaking, 100% complete. Sadly, there is no secret 7th world. Is there now a challenge version of this? Oh, there's no challenge World 6. That's also a bit of a bummer. That would have been, well, I don't want to say fun. It probably would have been very frustrating to complete. But yeah, that's the level done. Only 288 people have finished this bridge. That's pretty fascinating. Oh, I'm happy that I beat this level. It was actually pretty easy, honestly. It wasn't anything super stressful. Yeah, just a really nice finish to what is an amazing game. I'm not sure what'll come next after this, having completed the main story campaign levels of Polybridge 2. We might try some sandbox levels, some user-created levels. I might try out the weekly challenges as well, but I am sure that I will have more Polybridge 2 content out on the channel sometime soon. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing to the channel. Yeah, that would really help me out as I'm trying to grow. It's been so much fun playing through Worlds 5 and 6 and creating videos for them, and I hope that you've enjoyed. See ya!